Greetings and welcome to the Talk to Me America show, where the world wants to know what you have to say. So call me and tell them like it is. You're going to have to let me know if everybody can hear me. Everything looks to be working okay on all three of the channels. As you guys know, I am now streaming on Odysee, YouTube, and Rumble. Let's see. Great. Okay. Yeah, so far I can hear myself on Odysee. Good evening, Bruin Backhand. Yes, all is well. I hope you're having a good night as well. And everyone had a great week this week. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. Let's make sure. Okay. All right. Please make sure that you share. Welcome to the show. I'm your hostess, once again, ldghwih. Thank you for clicking on my little acre of the internet today. All right. Looks like everything is working according to plan. Everyone, I see everything moving, monitoring. Yes. Indeed. The only thing I don't like about Rumble is when I'm looking at it, it doesn't tell me how many people are watching. So somebody else will have to do that for me if they can see it. It doesn't show me. I don't know why. All right. So welcome to the show. I'm going to do my plugs real quick. Got one heck of a show for you this week. Again, a few things happened just before I was supposed to start the show. So I'll get to those. In fact, I started in with watching some of these things throughout the week, and then all of a sudden, just before I started the show, as I'm doing my notes and looking at all of this stuff to put up there to show you, something pops up and says, oh, well, this happened within the last couple of hours that you haven't seen yet. It's like, oh, okay. So I can add it. It adds to the suspense as I'm telling the stories about what's going on. So I like that. And I scoop people too, which is not the biggest deal in the world, but at the same time, it just seems like strange, like news always happens like right before I start doing my show on Thursday. Of course, with this 24/7 news cycle, you never know what's going to happen when these days. So you just have to pay attention as much as you can and do the best you can. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to cover even an inkling of how much has happened over the last week. Just stuff that stood out to me particularly, and that I see everybody else talking about when I do get to stalk the live feeds and stuff like that. All right, shout outs to 451 Actual, of course, his shows on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Kicking ass, or the background sound while you're kicking ass in the daytime. Pastor Chatelet, of course, as always, the 24-hour station to go to on Odysee. Red Dawn Radio, which I see over here, he's actually on at the moment, live with someone. That actually explains my low numbers over here, but the show must go on. DJ Brandrack, he's got an awesome show. He's got an awesome 24-hour stream going on Odysee too. Kind of like MTV, original MTV meets TV Land, and it's actually pretty awesome. He keeps a pretty good stream going for you. No dead air or any of that stuff like that. And I believe he also takes requests. And, of course, also, too, he does what I'm hoping to do, which is add everyone's commercials or their stingers or whatever to my show. The Drunken Rocky, who's on right after me and Red Dawn Radio at the moment. Raynoth, he's got a 5 o'clock show every day. And then, of course, on Tuesdays and Saturdays, they do the round table where they read articles and goof off and insult each other and stuff like that. I get on there every once in a while, but lately I haven't had a whole lot of time. Since things have opened back up, I'm not around the computer as much as I'd like to be sometimes. Still managing to get my every Saturday out there. In fact, I got a few things that I haven't decided on which one I'm going to do, but it shouldn't be very long this Saturday. So much to do all the time. All right. Axe Truth, DJ Based. Kevin's Chaotic Coffee. I try to catch him in the morning if I can get up in the morning. As for you morning people, I don't know how it is how you guys do the morning thing, and then yeah, I guess I'm getting old. But I do try to catch it because Kevin is not only is he very profound, but he's extremely funny. And like I say, you need that boost in the morning. I need a laugh in the morning, the extra oxygen to get to my brain as far as that goes. 2 minutes to midnight, Magical Trevor, Reverend Rant, some guy from Maine. He's also on at the same time as I am usually. He's not on tonight, according to what I'm seeing. Did you stop doing your show on Thursdays there, some guy from Maine? And of course, Orugaru and MBB and Town for their work on the interactive TV guide for the purebloods. That's people like me and you here on Odysee and sometimes YouTube. And, all the alternatives as far as that goes. Like I said before, you can see here Red Dawn Radio has decided to come on now. Let's see. Do we got anybody right here? Hello, guys. Hello. Can't see anything. Okay, there it is. All right, Demon Goddess, welcome, and of course the Drunken Rocky. I was just talking about you. Oh, Rocky, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Yes, Kevin is awesome. Morning person. I just yeah. I try. I'm not beyond trying, but yeah, morning person. And of course, I don't do coffee anymore. Although I'm trying something so that I can actually go back to coffee again. I miss coffee so much. And it's not that I was addicted to it or anything like that. I just love it. I always have. I've grown up on coffee. I think I remember my very first cup of coffee. It might have not even been a cup of coffee. It might have just been a sip. But that's the German way. The Germans didn't believe in baby bottles and all this other stuff and everything like that. The kids drank out of the same cups as everybody else did. And they were fed this stuff. My great grandma sit me on her lap and feed me just about everything she had. So I didn't turn out too badly. And I guess, like I say, the first time I had coffee, I don't even remember the first time I had coffee, but it was probably sitting on her lap one day before I could even talk, probably. So yes, I miss my coffee. And of course, I don't just drink coffee. And my doctor has actually told me that coffee is good for me. So I actually wonder if I should pay attention to that. I don't know. I can tell you one thing. I do not like decaffeinated coffee. Not only does it defeat the purpose, but you can't be sure. Usually whenever you have something, some kind of food product that says that it's minus something, they literally actually have to add something to make it minus that thing. So what they add to it may not be necessarily something that's good for you to take out the other thing. Or, like I say, they add something that didn't belong there in the first place to alter it into something that makes you think that it's going to keep you thinner or not affect you as much. But I think it would affect you more. Why is that there? Okay. Yes, Demon Goddess says, I love me some good coffee. Yes, no coffee, no peace. Yeah, well, it's not bothering me as far as physically or anything like that. I just really enjoy it. I always have enjoyed it. And of course, I don't really like the flavors, but I do like milk and sugar. Or I'll substitute milk and sugar for condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk, something like that. In fact, I don't like the coffee creamers. In fact, I used to be a coffee snob. I would do everything short of roasting my own beans. Okay, so I crushed my own beans, and we had a little espresso pot. It was nothing but water and coffee. So I enjoyed that. So I like I say, I'm trying to replace my medications that I'm supposed to be on for foods and things like that. So far, it's working. My brother-in-law gave me a juicer, and I've been using that for my morning tea and stuff like that. So, all right. Still waiting on people to get me their stingers I know I'm not that popular, but maybe if I used your stingers, we would all get more popular. Of course, the way to support us, 451 actually came up with the great idea for stingers and stuff like that. And I adore how he uses them and how it actually gets attention to all the people that have sent him one, including like Brad Allen and me and Vincenzo. In fact, I was hoping that Vincenzo would do a segment for me. I think he's thinking about it. He called me the other day and told me that a friend of his, sent him something that he thinks that people should know. So watch out for that. I'm not positive exactly what it is, but he's just now starting to get used to the social media, and I think one of his many cousins sent him something that sparked something in him. So we'll see about that. All right. And of course, the commercials can be for my shows, your shows, whatever it is you want to advocate, as long as it's in our group, I guess you could say, or what we are about, which of course my channel, is freedom of speech. And of course the Constitution, everything like that, but mostly freedom of speech. Consciousstrength.net. Great site for wonderful alternatives for nutrients and supplements. Oh, okay. My husband found me one, and of course my mom's always giving me good stuff too. So she's been on the, what did she call it? She's been on the apple cider vinegar kick. And the funniest part of it was she says, "Oh yeah, just stick that in some cranberry juice and just drink it down." She says, "Not a whole lot or anything." I told her, I said, "Ooh." I said, two really rancid, really rancid, like tart, sour, icky tastes together. I said, does adding those two together make it better? She goes, no. I'm like, okay. So of course my husband decides to do some research, and he found that you can get apple cider vinegar in pill form. So cool. You put it in your water. I guess you can get used to anything at one point or another. I remember reading a Stephen King book when I was about 13 or 14, and it had something about this guy chewing aspirin, and I actually chewed aspirin for the next year. The first couple of times it was really gross, but then after that I was like, okay, yeah. Don't ask me why. I was 13 or 14 years old, okay? All right. Okay, we'll get this show on the road. Don't forget to support everybody here on Pure Blood TV, and there's a buttload of people on air now. They're fixing that all up and everything like that. Of course, don't forget also too, I don't know if you can see it on there, Give, Send, Go to defend George Allen Kelly, the 73-year-old patriot that is being accused of shooting a Mexican national, but I get the feeling that the guys that were with him were the ones that took care of that for them. Of course, they don't care if somebody else takes the blame. You know that. You like the taste of apple cider vinegar? Okay. Do you actually drink any special brand? Or can you make it yourself? I know people can probably make it themselves, although vinegar is supposedly wine that is way past, something like that, made with grapes. I would venture to say you can make it with anything. Dr. Bragg's. Okay. That's a different one than I'm used to, or that I'm used to hearing about. I'd rather take it in pill form, though. I don't like really vinegar. I like pickles, but that's not just vinegar, so... All right, I'm going to open the phone lines just in case anybody's actually here tonight and wants to talk. I'm hoping that they will be. Once again, everybody, welcome to the show. All right. Last week I got a splat, which Brian Bragg runs my commercials. Yes, I know. I was mentioning that. Last week I got a splat on my live feed here on Odysee, and I'm like, all right, let's start merchandising the haters. And of course, I'm old enough to not give a shit, so limited access. You're not late. I don't. It's, you're not like on a payroll or something, so don't worry about that. Yes, I know. Red Dawn Radio has Chris Sky on tonight. Who is Chris Sky? I don't know who Chris Sky is. Oh, Rocky. All right. Let's see if there's anybody on Rumble. I see no one on Rumble. But yeah, I got one down to last week. So yeah, let's start merchandising the haters. You guys, I really don't care. I'm not doing this for anyone but who has called me to do this. If you don't like it, that's on you. That's all I can say, and that's all I care to say. All right. Correct. It is called Braggs. BRAGG''S. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. And of course, don't forget to support my channel. All my links are below. If you want to send me, I'm still for the PayPal for the diehards. I've got a scanny thing on here. If you want to go to my Cash App, if not, there's my logo for Cash App, or my ID for Cash App. Capital D, capital G, capital D, capital G. How weird. Maybe I can get her to do that, but I bet you any amount of money she'd want me to pay her. I was like, man, you're popular enough. All right. Okay. Don't forget, like I said, support everybody on here, and all my links are below for supporting me on there as far as that goes. I've also got memberships on Ko-Fi now, and membership here on Odysee. I don't expect I'm ever going to get any kind of money off of YouTube. They just won't allow me to grow very much. I did have an accidental front page something or other or whatever like that. Got me 600 on one video and like 3 subscriptions. So I wonder how you can do that all the time. Is that the reason why people like Doc Rich and Tim Pool and all those people always have so many people all the time, and the other ones too? They're always on the front page. Do people not go past that? I guess people are really laid. Chris Guy is a dude who's opening up the eyes of the Canucks to the agenda and running for mayor of Toronto as of 10 days ago. Ah. Okay. Now I'm confused. Red Dawn Radio doesn't live in Canada, does he? Why are we worried about Canadians? About, well, that much anymore. He has been fighting the stupid shit with the Kung Fu flu restrictions. He's been going to protests and has been trying to wake up the Canadians to their actual rights. He won't let them hold him in the airports. Okay. Good. I'm glad somebody's up there doing something. I know he's only one man as far as that goes, but is he kind of popular? And do a lot of Canadians watch Red Dawn Radio? That's why I say I'm kind of confused. Not that I don't care, but... okay, where was I? Oh, okay. Phone lines are open if you'd like to give a call in. Chris Sky. Okay. All right. I got another goodie from a friend of mine who watches some of the stuff that I don't get a chance to watch. He watches Huckabee. I've got him... I actually don't have him subscribed. Huckabee on TBN. But yeah, he sent me these a couple of times. Maybe I should subscribe. I'll subscribe now. But I probably still won't get a chance to around look at it. So I sometimes depend on other people to help me out with this stuff. But it reminded me of the old days, if you will. So I'm going to start us out tonight with what you might call an okay boomer moment. As this particular guy is actually not to be missed. And it blows my mind. I didn't even realize this guy was still alive. But let me introduce you, or remind you of a very, very talented impersonator that was incredibly popular in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and still does shows today. In fact, I think he used to sit in for Johnny Carson. This, folks, right here is what you call longevity in the entertainment industry. Let's see, make sure everything's going.
We have a very special surprise guest for you tonight. We don't even know how we managed to get him here, and frankly, he probably doesn't know how he got here either. But he's here. So would you please give a big welcome to President Joe Biden.
Is my mask on? Hey, man. Hey, man. You chumps out there. My name is happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Joe Biden. Joe Biden. I'm the big guy. Joe Biden. What the heck is this? Classified document. I wonder where it came from. There's tire marks on here. You know, a lot of people are worried about my health. They're worried about my health. Well, don't be worried about my health. I'm in perfect health. I'm in perfect health. If you don't believe me, ask my doctor, Dr. Kevorkian. I want you to know that President Harris and myself are doing an outstanding job as President and First Lady. Now, don't laugh. We're doing the work right now. The work right now of 3 people, Larry, Hurley, and Mo. Before going, I'd like to read you a list of my accomplishments as president. I kept my son out of prison. Thank you. Thank you, America. Happy Easter.
Please give a...
Yes, Demon Goddess, that is Rich Little. Like I say, I was flabbergasted to find out he was still alive even. You don't hear a whole lot about him, but then again. Now, he goes on to do a whole bunch more, but this thing was almost 12 minutes. I'm not going to take up all of your time with this, but I thought you guys would get a kick out of that and enjoy it. Alright, I swear that this next video that I'm about to show you is the most honest newscasting I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. And you guys all know how long I've been here.
In a desperate attempt to fill 24 hours of programming, here's some bullshit that happened somewhere today. We've got some footage here of the bullshit, which began just after 3 o'clock this afternoon, when residents in this neighborhood were shocked to see this fairly common thing happening. An attractive witness described the event in breathless terms.
I went to my window and I was like, whoa, there's some bullshit happening.
That happened right over there. I'm an older man, so you can trust what I say.
Authorities in special uniforms rushed to the scene to stand around while our cameras filmed them. Our reporter Keith Collins joins us now live from the scene of the bullshit through the use of expensive technology. Good to be with you again, Keith. We have a colorful graphic here that shows instances of bullshit like this are on the rise. Is that right?
Yes, although why is unclear. Some say it's because of one fucking reason. Others say it's because of some other fucking reason. I talked to this random expert on the subject who told me this thing you're about to hear him say right after he points at a piece of paper.
I spent my entire life attending the nation's most prestigious schools to talk about bullshit like this. I'm really just happy to be on TV.
Now let's see if we can drag this out a little longer by showing emails written by some of our viewers. I once saw some stuff kind of like the shit you're talking about happen. I have nothing more to add. Another person says, I am angry that things like this happen. I get mad about every bullshit thing I see. So obviously a lot of opinions there to make this story seem somewhat meaningful.
Oh, absolutely, Glenn. This bullshit has some broader implications. Here's a list of tips on how to avoid bullshit happening to you.
And here's some footage of Congress.
Yes, I see that.
Well, thank you, Keith. Let us know if there are any updates on this bullshit story from there.
There's no way there will be.
Very good. We'll check back with you in an hour anyway.
I'm just some fucking guy.
When we return, we'll look at live footage of a car chase taken from a helicopter and free associate about what's going on.
the most honest newscast I've ever seen in my life. Okay. All right. Real quick. I'm going to go back here. Probably won't remember how to go back again. Heard today. Let's see. Oh, here's bunches of people coming up. All right. Pastor Chatelet, thank you for the library coin. Sparky the Welder, welcome to the show. Bobby, welcome, welcome. Appreciate y'all being here tonight. Did I see Space Pirate of On? Hello. You are not into trains. That's funny. I was going to talk about that. Oh, look, everybody. Brad Allen. Oh, badass Brad Allen. All right. Welcome to the show. Appreciate y'all being here tonight. Pitbull doorbell. That's such a tongue twister. Pitbull. All right. Thank you, Space Pirate of On, for the library coin. Brain fart. All right. Adam, thank you. Thank you so much. You get one of these. Ding. Little donation there. Appreciate that. Thursday Night Techno. Oh, he is there. Okay, he is on. I didn't see him on the live now on the guide. Okay. Yar, brother. Yes, good to see you guys. I figured you guys would be over at RDR's. All right. One of the things I heard today, and of course we all know all the news. I don't really have to talk too much about this railway thing. We all know how horrible it is and how disgusting it is, and the fact that one president decided to go overseas while the other president decided to go and try and see if he could help these people and bring more attention. And I'm sure that it helped with some of the donations that they've been doing for that kind of thing as well. But I heard something from Joy Behar today, which why we're listening to these people that haven't been right about anything for the last 7 years anymore, I'll never know. I guess maybe it's just entertainment value now. But she pretty much alluded to the fact that this train wreck in Palestine was deserved. Because, can anyone take a guess why? I'll wait for a second to see if anybody posts anything, anybody makes a comment. Hello, Hallie. How are you this evening? I hope you're doing good. The only truth he's ever said, yeah. Excuse me. We listen to them to laugh about them. Oh, okay. Well, you're close, Pastor Chatelet, but no. Come on. It's the person they blame everything for. And if not him, his supporters. Come on. Anyway, basically, even they basically say this themselves on this segment of the spew. That they voted for Trump, and he actually won by 40% or more in that particular region of the country. I actually wondered how long it would take for someone to say the quiet part out loud, although it's not news. It's really not news because all of the pundits and other never-Trumpers have said something to that degree or another, and even to the point of letting us know that they wouldn't have any qualms about punishing any Trump supporter, if you guys know what I mean. In fact, I was looking for this, and I seem to remember hearing the video about this when Kamala was actually running either for president or for vice president or whatever, where she was like that. But I seem to remember her saying something to the effect that you Trump voters better watch out. And when I did look for it, it was nothing but debunkers. Everything. Oh, did she really say this? And it came up with the what was it? Snopes and all those other. And I'm thinking, this doesn't sound right to me, because I remember hearing that. I remember hearing that video, seeing that video. I looked all over for it today, and I think they've memory hold that when she basically threatened Trump supporters. Yeah, they, once we get our rightful place back in the White House, we're going to come after the Trump supporters now, because this is all your fault. And yeah, that's why I say, like I say, I remember hearing that, and that's one of the reasons why I actually went and looked for it. Now they're saying it was something that came from and started out by these satire sites, which I think is bullshit. I remember that. But yeah, I wondered how long it would take for them to start saying that out loud. So if you thought that way, if you thought that that was punishment somehow or another because these are Trump voters, because they've actually told us, a lot of them have told us that this is what they plan on doing, making it miserable for anybody that supported this racist asshole. Yeah. Then, you know, especially since our totally legitimate grandpa-in-chief went to Ukraine to hand them more of our tax dollars that they keep printing up. I don't even know why that's a thing anymore. You just may be right. If you were thinking that way, you just may be right. Because it isn't paranoia if they're actually really after you. Just saying. So, all right. And the reason why I named my show what I named it mainly is because of the fact that I'm remembering things from the 80s. I've been here for long enough to have seen I don't remember, I don't think we called it the Red Scare. I don't remember exactly what it was, but the saying back in the 80s, back in my salad days, if you will, it was no nukes. I mean, simple as that. No nukes. And it was because we were going through the Cold War with Russia. In fact, we hated Russia so much back then that we wanted nothing to do with them. Of course, we knew that they were a communist state, and that was just not for us. We, not to mention the fact that, when we said no nukes back in the 80s, we didn't mean no nuclear power. In fact, we thought that was amazing. We meant no nuclear bombs, because that's what they were threatening back then. Anytime, anywhere, okay? And now, a mere 40 years later, we have the largest arsenals in the world threatening to push down the red button. So is this game over? Is this going to be game over? This is one of the things that jolted or inspired that title, if you will. There's a couple of people and things that are going on that's kind of game over for. I'll go over those too. And of course, I'm hoping people will call. Hallie says you're referring to Biden. Oh, well, that was Rich Little. I love Rich Little. I love Rich Little. All right. And of course, like I said, Russia back then, communist hellhole that we wanted absolutely nothing to do with. And we weren't really worried about it because they were a communist nation at the time whose citizenry was supposedly, at the time, standing in line for a roll of toilet paper or a pound of flour, a pound of flour, or a crust of bread, something they were starving to death. They were having to stand in line for any of their goods, and if they didn't get there in a certain amount of time, they didn't get it for the day, it was horrible. The Cyborg, welcome. He is over there on Rumble. Don't forget I'm on Rumble and YouTube and Odysee in case, how it goes. Judes, 69er, thank you for being here. Let me see. I try not to miss anybody. Hal, welcome, Hal. Appreciate y'all being here tonight. Don't forget to share this with the universe. Tweet me. And actually, that's another new link that I've added down below. I'm on Twitter now, too. I don't tweet a whole lot. But I do gather some news and things like that. Oh, there you go. There's a good fashion show for everybody. Oh, good Lord. All right. So now, all right, back to what I was talking about. Now Putin and Germany and even Ukraine are threatening nukes. And I've seen so many theories of just hundreds of thousands of millions of people being wiped off the earth due to this madness. To be honest with you, I'm surprised that Putin hasn't already done this. Because, what's stopping him? What's stopping him now? Because he already has announced his suspension of the nuclear arms treaty. That was something that happened this week, and it's like, oh, this couldn't be good. Now, I actually did tweet about that when it happened. But again, like I say, since he's done this, what's stopping him? What's stopping him from just doing it? You know what I'm saying? He's got the means. Okay, now there was a video I had here for you. Where is the video? This has been a really long day, too. Please forgive me. All right. If it wasn't there. There. Here we go. There's the video. Freaking commercials. Skip. The West can be silly people. They want to deliver us a strategic defeat while crawling into our strategic... I can't read that fast. Russia suspends its participation in the New START Treaty, which is the treaty, I guess the nukes treaty that we were in with them.
В этой ситуации Министерство обороны России и Росатом должны обеспечить готовность к испытанию российского ядерного оружия. Первыми мы, разумеется, этого делать не будем.
Of course, we will not do it first, but if the United States conducts the test, we will do it as well. Oh, he's talking about testing. But if he's out of the treaty, you know, he doesn't have to really follow anything anymore. Like I say, he did say that he wouldn't do it first. But again, do we trust him? You know, that would actually be a strategy that somebody like that would actually take if they wanted to beat us. Oh, well, we'll never do that to you. And then the next thing you know, you turn your back on him and plop, bye-bye. So, yeah, do we trust him? Demon Goddess says, I trust Putin more than Biden. I don't trust either one of them. And actually, Biden is just not there. So, it's not Biden that we have to trust. Now, of course, we can't trust him. We never could trust him. But I saw somebody tweeted something about that the reason why they chose him is that they're making this, that they're trying to make this planned demise or demolish look like incompetency. And Biden's not the only incompetent one. If you just put your mind to it, that whole cabinet right now is more incompetent than, I mean, look at Buttigieg, look at Harris, look at Mayorkas, look at all of them. Have they done anything at all? Nothing. The Cyborg says the effing communism stands for food. There's no effing communism. Mutually assured destruction. They're going to live on the earth too. Yeah, well, that's true. And that's actually what would happen. In fact, Nikki Haley said herself, that was another thing I couldn't find a clip of. It was Nikki Haley saying that nobody wins in a nuclear war. And we've known that since the very beginning. I don't think he would. He loves his children and his people. Biden doesn't. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Once again, he said we won't do it first, but if the United States does it, then, you know. And it sounded like he was talking about some kind of testing or something like that, but I don't know. Don't forget, we've been taught and told up until they weren't communist over there anymore, until Russia became a republic again. We were told not to trust them ever. They were communists. We didn't want to be like them. We don't want to be anything like them. And of course, you know, if they do any nukes, you guys remember that this would be our fault, kinda. Well, Hillary Clinton's anyway. Remember the reset button? And that's when she ended up giving them 20% of our uranium. So, yeah, it would be kind of our fault if that happened. 10 years behind the curve, start at the bottom. Mayors, judges to be uncorruptible. Yeah. If you have a chance, it is free on YouTube. Give it a chance. Very pertinent to our current times. The Kids in the Hall movie. Oh, love those guys. Thank you, Rocky, for the library coin. I appreciate that. All right. So, let's see. All right. Then there was let's see. There was the article about it right from the Big League. Was this the other one? Okay, that's the suspension of the nuclear arms treaty. And then not 30 minutes before I started, this came across my feed, and this is even kind of worse news. China says, ready to join forces with Russia to defend national interest as Putin confirms Xi visit. Despite all the latest, and this is from Zero Hedge. Supposedly, it's a news site or website that you can trust. They posted this yesterday at 9 a.m., but it didn't come through to my feed until about a half an hour before I started. Despite all latest among Washington's repeat warnings to Beijing against strategic or military cooperation with Moscow, China is now pledging to join forces with like-minded partner Russia to defend national interests. The statement came by the close of the first day of the Director of Office of Foreign Affairs Commission of the Communist Party of China's Central Committee Wang Yi's trip to Moscow. Man, that is a long title. Let's see, what am I missing here? Hello, Putin wasn't following the Proliferation Treaty anyway, just like the U.S. and NATO weren't following the Basran Treaty, preventing the Ukraine from joining NATO. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. Yeah, of course not. How you doing, Space Cowboy? That's why that's the name of my channel. Here's what I heard. Because I'm not an expert in any of this stuff. I'm just a normie that basically started seeing people getting censored. And because of their getting censored, I was not given choice to be able to watch these people if I wanted to or not. So I had a problem with that. And of course, the lockdowns, everybody got on the internet, yada, 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 you know the rest. The People's Republic of China is ready to join forces with Russia to decisively stand up for national interests and promote mutually beneficial cooperation in all areas. What does that even mean? It sounds like word salad sandwich. To decisively stand up for national interests and promote mutually beneficial cooperation in all areas. Of what? Wang said Tuesday while meeting with Russian Security Council Secretary Nikolai Patrushev on Wednesday. He met with Russian President Vladimir Putin in what appeared a warm and cooperative visit. Well, what did you want them to do? Start punching each other? These news outlets, I swear. During a virtual meeting at the end of last year, our leaders Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin came up with a plan for further development of bilateral relations. We are ready to join forces with Russian side in accordance with the high-level agreements to decisively stand up for national interests and virtues and promote mutually beneficial cooperation in all areas. This still says absolutely nothing. Also, let's not forget 26 Blow Affair Research Labs funded by... Oh, Warfare. Sorry, I'm going blind. Warfare. Funded by the U.S. and Ukraine and the Azov Brigade Nazis. Yeah, I know. I know. Space Cowboy. This is good to see you, dude. Welcome to the show, everyone. Appreciate it. Hallie says, I remember Rich Little. He was famous for his political impersonations. Yeah. Yep. He is... Am I that far behind on this one? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Oh, and here I am. I forgot to put it over to this one. Okay. I'm reading this article. I didn't think I showed you the other article either. Oh, well. Too late. I said, this has been a long day. And I'm like, woo. All right. He additionally said China will, together with all like-minded partners, further promote the development of the international order in the direction of equitable development. Again, word salad sandwich. What is he really saying here? They're going to basically join together with Russia, probably give them munitions, and they're going to trade oil, and they're going to trade all this other stuff. I'm not real sure exactly what all areas means, but since everybody's talking WW3 here. It's necessary to unlock the potential of this mechanism. And it's also necessary to develop new steps of strategic interaction in accordance with the changing situation in order to provide the necessary guarantees for national development. Wang added, I want to fully join your appreciation of the strategic cooperation between the two countries. Yeah, this is just like a communist. They say a whole bunch of shit, but it means absolutely nothing. The positive and glowing statements amid the high-level visit comes at a crucial juncture in which Moscow needs a powerful backer in its corner, which also holds a seat on the National Security Council. The war in Ukraine is days away from reaching its one-year mark since the invasion began. Okay, so on the anniversary, a bunch of people are getting together. Biden went over there to hand them more money. What it sounds like to me, like I say, the Chinese, the communists, especially over there, always conflate everything. They make it sound fantastic and they give you a word salad sandwiches, and it really doesn't say much of anything. But what I've heard some of the pundits say about this is the fact that Putin is supposedly going over to the Chinese yuan, their money, instead of like US money or European money, something like that, which actually supposedly is either going to, how do they put it? Either going to strengthen the Chinese yuan, their economy, because their economy is actually going kind of floundering and everything like that, or it's going to weaken the United States economy, or both. In fact, supposedly, I think it was Levin. I remember a clip or something I saw. I think it might have been Levin. I don't know for sure. All this stuff goes in and out of my head. That said something to the effect that if they do switch over to the yuan in Russia, it's going to bankrupt the United States dollar, because once Russia does it, then a whole bunch of other countries are going to do it too, like Iran, or the Arab countries. Some of those countries are, the ones that hate America. Please donate. Only $469,000. Teutonic, welcome. Are you trying to get people to donate to you before they donate to me on my channel? Welcome to the show. What is that? Is that a chipper? That's heavy duty. That's heavy duty. The Kremlin praised Wang's stance in response, with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov welcoming China's balanced position on the Ukraine issue. He further declared that ours and China's vision is much the same concerning the crisis. However, it will be interesting to see if any further specifics on Ukraine emerge from the China side. And of course, don't forget, supposedly we're going to have a conflict over there in Taiwan as well, which is... we promised to protect them, but I don't know how much good it's going to do. And of course, again, I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. I'm actually just looking at a lot of this stuff for the first time, just because I've gotten into doing this. Like I say, I remember the scares and everything of the Cold War and the acid rain. In fact, they blame that on China, or not China, excuse me. They blame that on Russia back then too. They're testing some kind of whatever it was and everything like that. That's how they were scaring everybody to death with the nukes. The hot war. Don't make sure. Hopefully Putin doesn't push the button and all of that, and it's assured mutual destruction and all that. They scared the shit out of everybody back then too. So yeah, that's about all I want to talk to. Put it this way, all I can tell you is the same thing Nikki Haley said, and this is why I titled the show this. In the event that we had this kind of situation, it would be game over. Humanity would be wiped out for the most part in a lot of ways, if not right away, then afterwards. But the Earth would still be here. I actually can't believe that people wouldn't be more upset about something like that potentially happening, especially the ones that are so worried about climate change. You think there's climate change now. You set off a couple of those bombs, you're going to have what? The fallout and the clouds, and it's going to be dark, and it'll cover the Earth. There won't be sun in a lot of places. And they're not going to do this in places that are not overpopulated. In fact, if they do, one of the things that they used to always tell us is that they're going to target things like Washington, D.C., New York City, any of the big hubs, any of the big channels that we get shipments and things like that in, everything like that. They're not just going to bomb willy-nilly. It's going to be strategic. So, yeah. You're right. I just keep praying and keeping up in my good book. Yes. Well, supposedly his believers will be protected from a lot of this stuff, and if not, they're going to see him, which is not a bad thing. Let's see. Demon Goddess says they're too busy worrying about what bathroom to use to really pay actual attention to the shit that matters. Yeah, actually, to be honest with you, that's another distraction as far as that goes too. A lot of people are getting that it's a fad. But it's still not even 1% of the population. So I don't worry about those people. In fact, the less attention we give them, the faster that shit will go away. Because, I mean, you know that a majority of these people are doing these TikToks and these all these things because they think it's the in thing to do, and they're all looking for clicks and clout. Just stop giving it to them and it will go away. It really will. It's one of the reasons why I don't mention certain people's name. I won't talk about them because they don't deserve the free advertisement. I have much more important things to talk about, as you can see. Besides, what do they say? There's 3 types of people. Intelligent people talk about ideas. Semi-intelligent people talk about things, and dumb people talk about people, or something like that. Do not feed the crazies. Exactly. Thank you, Demon Goddess. I appreciate that. You're awesome too. Everybody here is awesome. If you were made in God's image, you're awesome. Let's see. All right, where am I? Once again, the phone lines are open. The Cyborg says it was Putin and Trump's fault that we are charging you a CO2 tax. Bigot pleads. Yeah. Who's charging that? Have they started that? Because that's something that I know that, if I'm not mistaken, is it Italy? Spain, it's some place that they're doing protests over that. I think it was Italy. Yes. All right. So China is ready to do it. Ready to do it. Whatever it is, meaning the what they said on there as far as the that word salad about. Promote development in the international order and direction of equitable development, which China doesn't want equitable development. They want to rule the world. All these people have one goal in common. They all want to rule everything. They want to be the gods. It's coming. Yes, I actually see it. I've read about some of the things that they want to try to do, and like I say, I think that they have already imposed one in Italy. I think it was Italy, and they had a lot of protests over it. I remember seeing that. All right, some other people that it's game over for, which it couldn't have happened to some nicer people. If you've seen any of these day in the life videos where these people are literally on perpetual vacation and get paid 6 figures to do it. In these luxury buildings. According to NTD, this is Epoch Times, I believe, 2023 tech layoffs on pace to surpass 2022 by 300%. Around 109,000 tech industry employees from 392 different technology firms have been laid off since the start of 2023. And we're not even through the second month yet. And the second month is a short month. That's a lot of people in these places. But I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. In fact, in some cases, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a little bit, but in some cases it's actually increasing the value and the stock, what do they call it? The stock futures, or when they try to guess what it's going to be. The projections, the stock projections for a company that we all hate. But I'll show you that in a minute. Let's see. This is the tracking website, layoffs.fyi. I've never looked at that. It sounds interesting. Earlier this month, the computer company Dell announced plans to cut about 6,650 employees and a plan to reduce its workforce by about 5%. Last month, Google began layoffs of 12,000 workers, or about 6% of its workforce. Microsoft also began cutting about 10,000 jobs in January. Amazon also announced plans to cut 8,000 jobs on top of about 10,000 it cut at the end of 2022. Wow. I hope it was after Christmas. Sometimes these companies have got no sympathy, no compassion whatsoever. Let's see, what am I missing here? New Tang Dynasty. It's a China news outlet. Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Is that the it said Epic TV. Is that their branch out there? or Epic Times, because I know that they have one out there, because I remember them talking about it getting ransacked, and they almost burned it down or something out there when they were going through the when they were conquering Hong Kong. AI can replace jobs of IT pros remotely. A biz can rent AI time to replace employees. Plus, a whole shitload of IT employees are useless. Yeah, well, that's what I was talking about as far as that goes. If you've seen any of these day in the life videos, I would venture to say that a majority of the people that they're getting rid of as far as this goes are they. And there was some, I think it was Odin's Men or somebody had highlighted a few of these TikToks of these people that got laid off. And they really and truly didn't produce anything. They had, and of course, a lot of them, the ones that were complaining the most were the DEI group, the people that were in those departments. I'm not sure that they closed those departments down completely, but I would venture to say that they were losing money. They discovered with these people that they were losing money because they were they were keeping people employed that didn't produce anything, that didn't really deserve to be there as far as that goes. They were only there to be tokens, if you will, to put it the way that they would put it, actually. All right. Dozens of smaller firms and startups have also cut hundreds of workers recently. On Tuesday, the India-based Polygon announced a plan to cut 100 employees, or about 20% of its workforce, according to layoffs.fyi. The day before, the Tokyo-based Crunchyroll, an anime streaming service, cut 85 of its employees among U.S. firms alone. 250 companies have announced layoffs since the start of the year, impacting 84,262 jobs. And the funny part about this is you got Joe Biden up there talking about how great everything is going. Our economy is fantastic and people are getting better jobs and bigger paychecks. In the meantime, this is reality. People are getting kicked out of their jobs because they're non-productive. They're making $100,000 just for having a face. Limited Access says it's propaganda. NTD tells truth and lies at the same time. What? So, like, what? Is it like 50-50? I mean, half of this is right and half of it's wrong or something? I mean, all right. Yeah. What is this, 8th grade? What are you guys doing? Haven't seen Slade since the beginning of last week. He is on tour, hospital talk for temp work around the country. Oh, nice. Lord Slade. I miss Lord Slade. New Tang Dynasty. China's news outlet. Okay. Toasty! Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here tonight. You're late. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's not like I'm paying you guys or something. All right, a phone call. Welcome. Greetings, you're on the air.
Hi, it's Hallie. Hi, I'm about to get to work. You know, you're hearing about all the layoffs now. Oh, sorry, I have to call you back. Somebody at work is calling me.
Okay, no problem.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Hallie. I'm just teasing, Toasty. No problem. I'm not that much of a slave driver. Okay. So yeah, many tech companies and many companies themselves are laying people off. Some of these places I've noticed also too. It was just a blip on my radar here, but I thought it was I think it was a headline or something like that. That they're starting to realize also too that the ageism that they're perpetrating, like not hiring anybody over 40 years old, is starting to backfire on them too. Because experience is always a good thing, especially if if you had that. Like I say, I went out and got a degree right before I hit 40 and still haven't been able to find a job. I went out and got an IT degree and still nobody will answer my but it's because they want 20-year-olds. They want people that they can pay small amount of money to but they're finding out that these people aren't loyal or any of that other stuff either. Greetings, you're on the air.
Hi, it's me again. Hi.
Oh, okay. Actually, we got a better connection now.
Oh, really good. Oh, good. Believe it or not, I have to replace the sanitation. We still have all these sanitation wipes because of COVID, so I have to replace, place a work order. And so when I'm at work, reading about the layoffs, I'm just sort of grateful that I'm still, I don't know. Do you see a lot of ramifications from this? I mean, it's easy to gloat over any of these, Silicon Valley types, but I don't like to rejoice over anyone losing a job. But do you think these people simply just find other jobs, or does this portend something more serious?
Oh, I hope that they do. I'm not disparaging them at all. What I'm saying is that because of the fact that they were not producing, these people expected to keep their jobs just for having a face. And that's just not reality. These people are getting slapped in the face with reality. I hope it teaches them a lesson. It's necessary for that to, for that kind of thing, for you to be able to learn that kind of a lesson. Most of these people that you see, and like I say, as I was saying, most of these people that you see and that are getting laid off, they showed us what they did in their jobs, and most people were like, "Holy crap! How do I get that job?" Because they literally seem like they were on perpetual vacation.
Yeah, well, they made it. I think it was the way of attracting people to have it like a perpetual Disneyland or something. I don't know how these people are going to fare once they leave, they leave that little environment. It always seemed weird and cultish to me. It reminded me like Marie Antoinette, that she created this little a farm, within Versailles, just so she could pretend to be a shepherd. In fact, she was there during the day of the French Revolution. They were so removed from reality that, so I kind of wondered, the effects this is going to have on some of these people that, thought, this isn't their job, was their whole world. Although I hear about this great resignation thing, maybe, the younger people are waking up to certain things that your job isn't your whole life. Nevertheless, you have to make a living. I mean, they probably got these exorbitant salaries. But I'm just wondering, it will be easy for them to find other work. I'm just wondering the future of the economy.
Well, that's going to be
going on.
Yeah, that's going to be on them. It's unfortunate, but it's going to be on them. And if they didn't get decent educations and things like that, there's not going to be. In fact, like I say, I believe that part of this is a lot of the people that are complaining the most about this are the ones that were in the diversity, equity, and inclusion departments.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I mean, that's the most worthless department, and some of the absurdity, the damage that it's wreaked. That's why when I hear about these kind of, on the one hand you could say, "Oh, there, but for the grace of God go I," but these people bring out the hate in me. I just feel like it's such a pleasure to see it. It's like a comeuppance in a way. I don't know if things will ever revert, go back to normal. I know Disney did lay off. Some of the entertainment industry, I think, is suffering, but I don't know for sure. I never know what to believe.
Well, from what I can tell, a lot of them have brought that on themselves, too. They make crappy videos or crappy movies and things like that, and when people don't like them, they blame the person that doesn't like them. It's like, excuse me.
You're racist. I know, you're racist. I mean, nothing has really piqued my interest in that. I just watch old movies anyway, but I just get the feeling like these industries are, I don't want to say, they want to say evolving, but I think a lot of them are dying. There's just it's not just a lack of creativity, it's a lack of maturity, but the younger people, it's maybe scary in a way. I'm more concerned about, the bigger picture, moving along. Do you think I know Trump was saying we're getting closer to World War III. Do you think that there is going to be some kind of a nuclear, do you think it's, things are going to head in that direction? I mean,
well, these days I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, and I'm not going to stay up nights biting my nails, but it's just more like this sense that something's coming to a head. you see this infighting and people, as I said, these institutions are imploding, but then on top of that, with stuff going on in the outside world, it's, I don't know something as a result. But, everybody applauded Biden for going to Ukraine, but I thought it was a joke. Am I the only one? I mean, this is...
No, you're not the only one. Actually, they're telling everybody that everybody applauded him for going to Ukraine, but no, not everybody did.
It's just a grandstanding thing. He was prepared. I mean, I think the way, like he was notified in advance, so it's not like he was walking into a war, an actual war zone.
Well, according to what I've been hearing, they actually notified Russia before he went over there. It was almost like he asked Putin's permission. Yeah. So I don't know what to think about that, other than the fact that he walked out and turned his back on the Ohioans.
I know, that's really, that's very, very disgusting to give money off, they'll pledge more money to Ukraine but not to help these people in Ohio. It's very, anyway, listen, I just hope and pray for good times. That's all, anyway, listen, I better get back to the, I better go place that work order and get more.
Oh, there you go. Well, actually, one thing I wanted to ask you real quick before you left, you're in an establishment. Have you seen any layoffs in your establishment at all?
No, thank God, not yet. The dynamics here are different where I work because we're kind of a community. We help each other. It's not, it's not impersonal like Twitter or something. But we did have layoffs 10 years ago. I remember I was even following the Madoff thing. My family lost money on that, by the way. But it's scary. I think it may eventually hit us. So I always, just try to do what I can to do my work. I was, trying to, not to just learn what I can, but do what I can. I don't know. I've never took a job for granted. Some people are more cavalier about it. It's so fun, thank God.
Yeah. Now I do know that there is a commercial that came out of New York with some information on how to, I guess, survive a nuclear attack. So you actually they might know some. They might know something that we don't, or something like that. So like I say, I right now with the hate and the vitriol and the wild biblical things that are going on, I wouldn't put it past these men to do this.
No, I don't put it. It's very much very biblical. It's very considered. Yeah. Well, in New York, being a major city, it's it's just, I don't know. Well, anyway, I can't. It's funny. I wish I did watch the news. I can't break away. Anyhow, so I better get back here and to the salt mines and just have a good night.
Okay. Thanks so much for calling.
Okay.
Stay safe up there.
My pleasure. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Good night. All right. My regular caller, Hallie, shout out. The Cyborg says he watched the Knoxville news tonight and the whole show was about Ukraine again. Big surprise there. And he says, because they want us to feel good about the inflation and shitty leadership. Well, I don't know anybody that feels good about any of that stuff. In fact, I was hearing right after he got elected that people already had buyer's remorse for voting for him. And there was so many people. This I say, he's totally in his words, totally 81 million votes. Right. Okay. So yeah, game over for these people. And like I say, I'm not trying to disparage them, but you can't help when reality slaps people in the face, and you can't sugarcoat that shit either. Hey man, this is life. This is what's going to happen to you. In fact, you worked for a big corporation. You're now finding out that big corporation doesn't give a fuck about the individual. Not one. In fact, they didn't hesitate. That was one of the complaints I heard about them on, they didn't consult with any of us. They didn't warn us. They don't have to. You don't own the company. You have zero control. You work for a salary, you do what they tell you, or you're gone. That's just the way it is. That's real life. If you don't like it, start your own business. And then see how far along all of this mamby-pamby stuff gets you. And it probably gets you the same thing that you got in the big corporation. But let's see how much you care about all your employees when they're not making you any money, or you're having to pay exorbitant fees, or exorbitant, wasting all this food and all this other stuff, So let's see, who am I missing here? Sagacious, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. Let's see. And yeah, they do want you to feel good, but right now, and the thing is, they want you to feel good about this stuff, but there's such miserable people all the time. I don't see how you can feel good about anything that these people say or do. Because it always, good intentions, are on the road paved to hell. And that's usually what happens. Like I say, who are these angels? These people are not angels. Don't trust people. Don't trust these politicians. Not to mention the fact, I keep saying this too. How are we not ahead of these people in this shit? We know they always lie to us. We know they always do this shit to us. Why are we still allowing it? Why do we even listen to them anymore? Yes, good entertainment, but at the same time, it seems like we believe it. All right. Greetings, you're on the air.
Hi, it's me. How are you doing?
Hello, me. I'm doing fine. How are you doing? You sound fantastic. I'm glad you're over your illness.
Well, I feel, hell yeah, man. I've been sick for like a week, in and out of bed with just a nasty cold. Not the sniffs or whatever, just a nasty cold.
Yeah, cold weather always does that to a lot of people. That's always been the way.
No, it's just yuck. Just make sure you're stocked up on cold medicines before they poison them. So I've been on and off, in and out of bed, and going through my preps and everything, and I've discovered, of course, because I've been putting jars away and stuff of especially meat before anything is messed up and tainted, and they want us to eat this. I saw a report the other day on that, what do you call it, that Bill Gates meat. It's causing cancer. So, yeah.
Which Bill Gates? Oh, Bill Gates meat? You talking about his synthetic meat?
His synthetic meat that's lab grown.
Yeah.
They have reports it's causing cancer. So
your body doesn't know what to do with this shit.
Well, it's made with it looks like it's made with body parts from babies, maybe.
Gross. Well, then that's not synthetic.
Yeah. Well, no, they call it immortal cell something. Yeah.
I haven't looked into it. I haven't looked into it. I'm not interested in anything other than what God gave us.
Well, like Acadia flour, make sure that you're looking at your ingredients if you're buying stuff off the shelves. You don't want Acadia flour, which would be cricket flour, which is going to poison you, because we're not able to digest that. They have an exoskeleton on them that is like poisonous to humans. So
yeah, the critin, it's critin or something like that. Plus, also too,
how about people with flour?
Yeah, how about people with shellfish allergies and stuff like that?
Right. So it's gonna screw up a lot of people. But anyway, so I'm checking my shelves and stuff, and I've got these shelves that I bought from Menards that are supposed to be 750-pound heavy-duty plastic shelves. Well, I mean, they might be 750 pounds for a period of time, but after a period of time, they start to bow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I've been checking them, and I've been pulling stuff off because I've been noticing that they were bowing and doing things and whatever, but after a period of time, they start to bow and they start to twist. Just want people to know that, and people to check in case they are storing stuff like I am on these lovely, wonderful, big plastic shelves that say they hold that much weight. They really don't for a long period of time. You know, I've been checking my stores and whatnot, and I'm going to still encourage people to, you know, wash stuff and whatnot. And I'm getting into dehydration a lot right now because it's a lot lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you got the water stored up or a way to have water, which, I mean, some people in the country right now, God love these people.
Super Trucker says
Holy
the meat
crap.
is actually cancer. You're eating tumors. Is that right? That's
Yes.
disgusting. That's disgusting. That is disgusting.
It's all disgusting. Yes, it's all disgusting. We just got to be, we have to start, you know, really checking, you know, try not to eat what they're putting on the shelves if you can help it.
Yep. King of
You know,
Casual,
if you can get from a
welcome.
local.
And Hal says, just look for contains bioengineered ingredients. That could mean anything, really.
Yeah.
It actually,
Yes.
I was going to say, it used to mean that it was GMO. But now it could mean they've done anything to it.
Well, they've GMO'd practically everything at this point.
Yeah.
Practically everything at this point. Because, you know, they've had to, according to my husband. You know, they've had to. So, yeah. But anyway, so like I said, have people make sure that if they are stocking up stuff, that they are checking their shelves to make sure that they're not giving way or bowling or whatever, because last week it might have been okay, and this week you might look at it and go, whoa, I need to pull some shit off of there.
Read
So
the labels.
Start stacking stuff on the floors, and, you know, you're able to stack, you know, canned goods like jars and stuff. What I'm doing is I do put my rings on very loosely, but I'll have like a layer of cardboard in between, and I'll stack them 3 high. But I'm real careful with the weight. Try not to put too much weight on them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So that was just kind of the thing that I did today. I was just going through and making sure I had enough water. I'm at maximum capacity at this point.
Oh,
At
great.
this point, so we're sitting pretty good. But I am buried in 3 foot of snow too. And if Hallie's out there listening, honey, you sound sick. I hope you're feeling better. I miss you bunches, Hallie.
Oh, Adam.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
Zoot
Anyways,
Suit Cooter, welcome to the show over there on YouTube.
Nice. Hey, you YouTubers. Sorry, I'm over on Odysee. Hey, get the fuck off of YouTube. Get on Odysee. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah,
Big
they're trying real hard to censor JT from Odin's Men. And what's the other one? He's got a couple of Viking names, and he's got like, I finally found all of his channels. He's got 4 channels on YouTube. One of them is military news. The other one is military, like the same stuff that he comments about the others on the other 2 channels about the weird stuff that happens and the odd news. So I like him.
They got his. I do too. I've been following him for a couple of years now. But if they've got your email address, they got you. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, I don't want to give them all this information, because then they got you pinned down. But that's just me.
Oh, well, I was gonna say I'm using their email address. In fact, YouTube makes you use a Google address for their shit. So. So it doesn't bother me that much, because I can just you can make 10,000 of those.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose that's true. All right, my dear. Well, I just wanted to let people know to make sure they're checking their shelves, to make sure that, you know, with anybody that's stocking up and whatnot, which they should be doing, because it looks like a lot of stuff like this coming up season, a lot of the stuff might be poisoned with the shit that they're putting down the Ohio and everything else and putting in the air, and God knows. So what you're buying now probably won't be, but what you're going to buy next year might be.
Yeah.
So just check your shelves.
If it's even available at all. They keep burning stuff down.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Killing chickens.
I guess in Europe right now they're implementing you may have 3 vegetables thing at the grocery stores now.
Oh,
including
yeah.
Aldi's
Rationing.
across the seas.
Yep,
they're rationing.
They're rationing.
And they're going to get you used to it so that, maybe you can go into this. If people can go back, keep listening to Laura. You can go back and listen to Red Dawn Radio's restream or whatnot. Listen to Chris Sky. He's been over there and he's been listening to some of this stuff, and he had some really good stuff to say until he started his politics, as far as I'm concerned. Because I'm not in Toronto, so I don't care. But a lot of the stuff he said that he was able to access and he knew about and whatnot was not only interesting, but if it's going to Europe, it could be coming here if we allow it. So be ungovernable. Don't comply. That's all I can say.
That's what this show's all about.
Bunches.
Okay.
Bunches, and I'm going to listen to the rest of the stream so that I don't bore everybody to death.
Okay, thanks so much for calling. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're feeling better. Have a great week.
Oh, I am too. You too. I'll talk to you soon.
Okie dokie.
Bye-bye.
All right, good night. All right, that was limited access for those of you that didn't know. Let's see. Who did we get on here now? Let's see. I've Sagacious, Teutonic, fucking Epic. Welcome to the show. Welcome. And we ended up having a pretty good turnout tonight, despite the fact that RDR decided to go with us too. Of course, there's other people on too. What can I say? I'm not really competing against anybody. If you're here, that's great. If not, what can I tell you? I don't know. You can watch it later, right? All right, so game over for a lot of tech people. I feel sorry for you, but again, you brought this on yourself. In fact, this is actually another thing that they didn't do either is they thought that this was going to be their job for their entire life, and they thought that they had it made in the shade and everything like that. They never planned on anything if anything happened. You never can tell. And again, this taught them a lesson to these big companies that they work for. Don't give a shit about them. They don't give a shit about them. The only thing that they care is your bottom line. Do you make them money? Period. That's it. And if you're an expense, are you an expense that they can actually counteract? Because there is overhead in these companies, but they try to keep it to the minimum. That's the reason why you got people that are doing sales. They're also doing secretary work and everything else too. So I remember working in corporate. The more work you do, the more work they would give you. All right, game over for another Clinton aide that was supposedly linked to Jeffrey Epstein, who did not kill themselves. According to the Daily Mail, exclusive. This is another thing that I saw right before I started talking about us, right before I got on the show and everything like that. Of course, I'd heard about this guy that was tied to a tree where they claimed it was suicide. Turns out all of a sudden now there was a shotgun found near the guy. Well, actually, it wasn't near the guy. It was like 30 feet away. Like when he shot himself, the way that they explained it, the way he shot himself, he kind of missed, hit himself in the chest. Halfway, he supposedly, and I don't know how they knew this, supposedly aimed it directly at himself, moved away somehow or another, hit the trigger, shot himself in the one side of the chest, and the gun flung away from him over 30 feet away from him. That's a very freak accident. I don't know about that kind of thing. And of course, I've never tried to do anything that unsafe with a gun in my life, so I would never know if that would even happen. I don't think I've ever even dropped the gun before. And of course, when I was in the military, I learned how to use the M16 or whatever it was, and everything like that. But yeah, there was no pointing it at yourself. And of course, what kind of a shotgun was it? You really have to have some long ass arms to shoot yourself with a shotgun. That's probably the reason why he messed it up. Anyway. Supposedly, he texted his wife that he found a perfect place for a nap before blasting his chest and falling from a bench with electrical cord tied around his neck. Turns out that he tied this thing to the branch, tied it to his neck in case he fell, in case he didn't kill himself with the shot. And that's basically what happened. He didn't kill himself with the shot, so he ended up strangling himself with this thing. Found dead from what officials suspect to be a suicide on May 7th. This is 2022. Now, all of a sudden, they found a shotgun near him. So which was it, guys? And of course, do you really believe that he offed himself? I mean, look who he is. All right. And I want to proclaim at this very moment that I have no intentions on offing myself either. I love life too much, and I think we are literally commanded against that. So, shotgun was found near the body of the Clinton White House aide who killed himself on a ranch in Arkansas, the local sheriff is now saying. So, like I say, too little, too late. This poor guy, whoever he was, according to them, he probably had some information about Epstein, as far as that goes. More details of how cops now believe Mark Milliton killed himself have been released. Papers released earlier by Perry County Sheriff Scott Montgomery said deputies who were called to the Heifer Ranch in Perryville, an hour west of Little Rock, after an abandoned BMW SUV was found there, specifically said there was no gun in the car. How did they, if this was so far off the beaten path, how in the world did they find him so fast? But now, a further set of papers, what is this, almost a year later? Yeah, almost a year later. Now, all of a sudden, this is happening. This is one of those things. Poor guy, like I say, game over for this guy. But now they're trying to lie to us about it. And of course, to be honest with you, I actually just started hearing about this. I didn't even know about this until they started talking about the gun. But it just seems rather sus to me. Does it sound rather sus to you guys? This is from the Daily Mail. All right. I wonder. This was something else that I got updated on just before I started the show too. Breaking! Missouri, this is from the Gateway Pundit. Missouri Attorney General, is this game over for her? Gives radical Soros-funded St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner until noon Thursday, until noon today, to resign. Do you think she did it? Do you guys think she did it? I'm gonna give you a minute to answer me if you think. Another Hillary hit. Yeah, Zoot. Yeah, Zoot Suit. Yeah. That's true, Jude. Okay. Kim Gardner may be the most radical Soros-funded circuit attorney in the nation today. This is the same person that tried real hard to indict those people that protected themselves from the protest that broke through their private gate. Does anybody remember their name? I forgot their name. But this is the same attorney general that really wanted to put these people away for life, for pulling guns on people that were threatening their own lives. Basically, if you're protecting yourself, if you're exercising your Second Amendment right, people like this are going to jail you or punish you for it. Forget about the people that are breaking the law to begin with. Brad, stay out of East Palestine. Just saying. Yeah, actually, I didn't get a chance to ask Limited Access. Are you anywhere near there? I know you're up north, but I don't know if you're anywhere near that area. I'm hearing more and more people that are actually south of that area talking about some of the effects that it's having on them as well. And that shit spread all over the place for miles and miles. You guys saw the mushroom cloud that was out there. As I say, multiply that by about 30 if we have nukes, if nukes happen. So, anyways, this person, this Kim Gardner, is so intolerable, according to this, that 24 attorneys and more than 1/3 of the trial lawyers left the office when she took over the office in 2017. And this is a Democrat dominated office. So even the Democrats don't like this bitch. In August 2018, Kim Gardner announced her attorneys will no longer accept cases from 28 different St. Louis City police officers. Gardner called it her exclusion list because they were racist. She just deemed this out of nowhere. And justice for all, my ass. Gardner did not tell the officers what they did to get on her list, but they are being censored. In 2019, Gardner refused to charge a drug dealer who was found with 1,000 opiate pills and $30,000 in cash because she didn't like the cop that was involved in it. So I guess she's another defund the cops person too. And, you know, this is another thing, again, they expect the cops to be good and everything like that, but then when they are doing their jobs, this is what happens. Why bother? A lot of them are getting to the point where, why bother? Gardner refused to charge a killer of a 7-year-old child despite the suspect's confession in 2019. She lied about Governor Eric Greeton's case, committed over 60 acts of misconduct in the case, and got away with it. In 2020, Kim Gardner dropped the case against the suspect who shot another man in a traffic dispute in broad daylight. The McCloskeys. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jude. The McCloskeys, that's who it was. Playing Brad Needham. Okay. In 2020, Kim Gardner also was caught on video lying about being harassed during a traffic stop. Also in 2020, she released all of the rioters and looters from jail without any charges in the violent St. Louis Black Lives Matter riots. This, I believe that was part of the thing that the McCloskeys were involved in. But this latest incident last week was the last straw. Now, let's see what that was. Kim Gardner refused to put a man charged with hitting Janae Edmondson back in jail, even though he violated the conditions of his bond more than 50 times. That was the last straw? A dude hitting a chick. Okay. The repeat offender went on to hit a Tennessee teenage volleyball player walking in St. Louis City last week, and the young girl lost her legs after she was pinned to another vehicle. The driver never should have been on the street, and Missourians are furious. Really? They're mad after he messed up somebody from another state? All this other stuff they let go? Now they're mad? Missouri Senate State Leader Caleb Roden called on Kim Gardner to resign today. And on Wednesday night, Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey gave Kim Gardner until noon tomorrow to resign. That was today. As AG, I want to protect the people of St. Louis, and that includes protecting victims of crime and finding justice for them. Instead of protecting victims, Circuit Attorney Gardner is creating them. My office will do everything in its power to restore order, and eliminate the chaos in St. Louis caused by Kim Gardner's neglect of her office. So, did you guys tell me whether or not you thought she did it or not? You think she did? She's a traitor committing serious crimes while in office. Yes, indeed. Put it this way. If nothing else, she's breaking her vow to uphold the Constitution. I mean, that's what these people in these offices always put their hand on the Bible once they get sworn in, as far as that goes. Most of them anyway. I don't know if she was appointed or whatever. But no, I don't think so. I think they're voted in. But guess what? She said, no, I'm not gonna. Missouri AG moves to fire Democrat Attorney Kim Gardner after she refuses to resign over public safety outcry. And like I say, they should find a way to actually oust her. I mean, after that litany of things that I read, and that's just what they told us about, just what we know about. She's not protecting anybody, but I can't imagine who she's protecting other than criminals in this state. Or in this area where she's at. AG Andrew Bailey had given Gardner 24 hours to resign or face removal proceedings. First on Fox. Republican Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey moved to fire embattled Democratic St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner on Thursday after she refused to resign following a weekend accident involving a repeat offender who was free despite several violations of his bond terms. Well, was that the first time he got caught? And also, too, did they let him go after this incident as well? Because then, yeah, again. And like I say, I still can't imagine that being the last straw. I mean, look at all the other stuff that I read off before this happened. The AG's office started the process of filing petition quo warranto which is the legal mechanism under the state statute that allows the Attorney General to remove a prosecutor who neglects his or her duties. Bailey will have to show a judge that Gardner neglected her duties and needs to be removed. Well, I would venture to say that everything that I listed off would be a good start, but it depends on who the judge is going to be too. If it's one of these, if it's somebody that's on her side or somebody that's being financed as she is, then guess what? She's not going anywhere. That's probably the reason why she said, "Nah, I'll stay. No, I stay. No, I stay." Like the maid on Family Guy. No, I stay. So we'll see. I'll try to keep up with that. Of course, you know, it's real hard to keep up with some of this stuff, and sometimes you don't get an update on some of this stuff. But I'm pretty sure this will stay in the news. It'll become some kind of a feud, I'm sure. And again, she's another one that thinks that she's beyond reproach. Another one, she's got all the high grounds. I'm letting all these poor criminals out. You don't know what their background is. You know what? It doesn't really matter what their background is. You can't go back and fix this shit. There is no past when it comes to this shit. What did you do today? Did you break the law today? Yes, you're going to jail today. It doesn't matter what they did in the past. They did something to people. They hurt people. That's what they did. Sergeant Tripod. Watch out for the Mohap. Yes, I'm going to have to duck every time they swing. That's right, Jude. That's right, exactly. Rocky! Think you can laugh harder at shit on the internet. Challenge accepted. Drunken Rocky, thank you so much for the donation. You get one of these. Appreciate it. Every dime goes back into this show and growing the show. I'm still actually trying to talk my old man into joining me, but I don't know. He'd rather play guitar. That's okay. And of course, don't forget to go and see the Drunken Rocky show after me here. I will try and wrap up as soon as I can. I don't usually go too far over his show. But yeah, let's hope it's game over for this person and people like her. If DeSantis could do it to the Attorney General that was doing the bad things in Florida or neglecting his job in Florida, then they can do it here too. Like I say, it only takes one. Look at what Trump did to make people start standing up for themselves and stop saying, "Oh, we have to coddle these people." No. Live in reality. Tell the truth. You know, talk about what's actually going on. Be real. Be 100%. All right. Now, I was talking to you earlier about the layoffs and things like that were actually one of the ways that one company that I know of so far has been able to actually increase, or should I say, make more money than was projected by NASDAQ or whatever it is that they do, which actually caused their stocks to go up. Our favorite company, remember this? There's stuff I can't... In fact, I've had it on eBay for 2 weeks. 2 weeks! Not one view. Okay? Still, if you guys want to pay some shipping to get these, and I would love videotapes of you guys destroying this stuff somehow or another. So I just can't really afford to send it to you because it's 10 ounces is almost $8 first class mail. So if you guys want that, get with me and we'll see. Because I got a case of 24 of those stupid things, and I'm not gonna try them. In fact, I wouldn't even push these on Mikey. He won't eat it. He hates everything. So, but according to this, as of this morning, why Beyond Meat shares are sizzling after hours on Thursday, and I'll show you why. Beyond Meat Inc., NASDAQ BYND, shares are rallying during Thursday's after-hours session after the company reported better-than-expected fourth-quarter financial results. Here's what investors need to know. What happened? Beyond Meat reported quarterly losses of $1.05 per share that beat analyst consensus estimate of 1.18% or $1.18 loss. So that was a gain of 13 cents, basically, what they're saying. The company posted quarterly sales of $79.94 million, which beat the analyst consensus estimate of $75.69 million by 5.61%. This sales figure is a 20.6% decrease over the sales of $100.86 million, or $100.68 million the same period last year. The company said its loss from operations in the fourth quarter of 2022 was $65.7 million compared to the $77.7 million in the year ago period. Beyond Meat said the reduced loss from operations was primarily driven by lower general and administrative expenses, reduced expenses associated with the production trial activities, lower marketing expenses, and reduced nonprofit headcount expenses, partially offset by lower gross profit and one-time separation costs related to the company's previously announced reduction in force. So they basically, if you read that, and I had to read it twice because it was like so tongue twisty, they laid a bunch of people off. That's how they made better. That's how they ended up making more money than they had projected losing. So it ended up somehow or another increasing their share by leaps and bounds. But it's because they laid people off. They were able to save money by laying people off. So, of course, the company itself, I don't know if you guys know this. Again, nobody wants this stuff. Nobody's looking at it. Nobody. Yuck. And of course, all the bad press and everything like that. Supposedly, they have found mold and mildew and all kinds of in this stuff. Not to mention the fact. Look at this stuff. It literally looks like it to me. If you can see this stuff here, it literally looks like to me my cat barfed. That's what that looks like to me. My cat barfed. Not to mention the fact I'm not a vegan. Also, not to mention the fact you don't know what's in there. They put it on the labels, but I don't think that they're being honest with the labels anymore. Hello, I am the Resistance. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being there. Here. Gardner's a radical liberal activist, nothing more. Exactly. And she's and you know, she is backed by Soros. So I just thought you guys would get a kick out of the Beyond Meat because the only way they saved any of their savings, and actually, to be honest, they still lost money. They still lost a shitload of money this year, or with their fourth quarter. But they lost less than they projected that they were going to lose. So it actually looks like a gain. That's how business is. It's really weird that way. But it looks like a gain. And of course, the gain was by getting rid of a bunch of the people. They're not telling you how many people they laid off, but this is what they're saying. They announced a reduction in force. That's exactly what that means. They're laying people off. Okay. So like I say, I thought you'd get a kick out. I got a kick out of that. Where are we? Oh, okay. We got about 15 minutes or something like that. I was going to... Let's see. I'll take one. I had so much fun picking out articles from the Pure Blood news site the other day. I was going to do the rest of the show for that, but it seems like I've taken phone calls and talked a bunch about that. So let's see if we can find a short one here. Oh, this sounds like a good one. Salty Cracker, fuck your feelings. These woke trans warriors hate it when people talk facts. It's a tweet. Trans loses it when this guy states that he would have to be gay to have sex with a trans woman because they are a biological man. Who is this from? Will, Hot Billy. Okay.
And said, Chase, would you rather smash the hottest trans woman in the world or the oldest woman in the world? Honestly, bro, the oldest woman in the world, because then I wouldn't be gay. Are you like, Chase, how dare you be transphobic?
Yes, actually, what the fuck do you mean?
Because if I had sex with a trans woman, I'd be having sex with a biological man, and I don't want to do that. Because I'd be gay if I had sex with a biological man.
That's not gay.
That's
And
gay.
I'm gonna shut the fuck up, actually.
I'm
She's right. I mean, that's really
What?
hateful,
She's
bro.
not. She's
It's
not.
really
Would
hateful,
technically be
bro.
homosexual.
No, it
This
isn't.
woman is a biological man. Sue me. It's true.
So what if you don't have trans friends?
You know what
Again,
God said? It said he...
You people make up a little tiny % of the population. Yes, you have the rights to be whatever you want to be. You don't have the right to tell everybody else to do what you want them to do. This guy's perfectly within his rights to tell you absolutely not. All right. Okay, found something that was really, really interesting that actually kind of sort of was spooky in a way. Maybe you guys, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this real well on here. I'll try to make it as big as I can. But according to this, a life helicopter takes off and the patient dies while it's taking off. But if you watch above the helicopter, you can see its spirit shoot off into heaven. Watch this. See if you can see it here. Yeah, you should be able to.
Only because a lot of people want my opinion on this. Here we go. Watch as this takes off. This is absolutely possible. Look at that.
You saw that?
Let's get a closer look. Here we go. Yes. Amazing.
What do you guys think about that? Could you see that? You like that one from last week, huh? Teutonic? Those products have never received the safe for human consumption grade from the FDA. It was given a lower rating, basically not noxious or something impossible meat. They're only animal testing research. All the rats died. I guess, is that the reason why they call it Beyond Meat? The rats were meat. That was CGI Fisheye Lens Bro Plox Bro. The flat Earth is so outdated. Hot dog Earth is new. Is the new thing. That's hilarious. Lens flare. I don't know. It looked like it actually looked like exhaust to me. I'm not exactly sure where exactly the exhaust is, but some helicopters' exhaust I think goes straight up or straight back. Oh, I say anything's possible, but I just thought that was trippy. In fact, I didn't know you were still here, Pastor. But I'm glad you saw that. Air vortex caused by the propellers increasing the speed. That's cute. All right. Okay, you know, I never like to leave without a little bit of levity. Actually, I found some cool things, but there's some funny things coming on here too. So, actually, this I found this very interesting, and these guys have got some balls on them. Watch this. Sorry, headphone wearers. Watch this. This is crazy. Whoa. Wow. This will blow your mind. Whoa, those guys were nuts for standing in front of that thing with this gun and everything like that. That's some control. That was crazy, though. Wow. I thought you guys might get a kick out of that one. That's trippy to me. I don't know if you guys saw that, have seen that before. But, I mean, that robot literally stuck that gun in that guy's ribs and did not shoot him. And didn't shoot him even when the guy was shooting at him. That's amazing. And those guys, like I say, those guys that were those humans that were standing in front of this robot with this gun. Oh, my God. Some balls. Some balls. Big balls. All right. Let's see. What do I got next? Okay. Awesome comedy. Awesome comedy. And in fact, this guy says what everybody's thinking.
None of you. Not because you're sexist, but because you're not dumb. I'll be honest, man. Men and women aren't equal. I'm sorry if that hurts your little stupid ears. We're not equal. Because equal means the word same. We're not the same. In fact, that's my favorite thing about a woman, is that she's not a dude. Quit pretending we're the same. I don't walk around, I could have a baby if they'd let me. I can't. People try to make it like, we're equal. I want it to be equalized. No, you don't. When any one of you got a babysitter tonight, how many of you picked a dude? None of you. Not because you're sexist, but because you're not dumb.
Yeah, don't they have memes about leaving the baby alone with mom and leaving the baby alone with dad, and dad does some crazy things with the baby? Like squish his face together, dresses him up in all kinds of weird things, turns him into a turkey. Something like that. It's an awesome vid, but seriously not real. You talking about the robot video, Adam? Let's see. Zoot Suit Cooter says, can you post a link to Drunken Rocky? I've searched Odysee and can't find it. Can somebody do that for me real quick? So that I can transfer it from one to the other here in the meantime. Helicopter is a moving wing aircraft. Wingtip vortex suck efficiency out of the low pressure created by the shape of the wing. Man, you're way behind. I'm not saying robots like that don't exist. I'm saying that video was a skit. Well, he would have had to have been programmed, but still, it's mighty scary standing in front of a gun like that. Not really knowing if you can trust this robot. You'd have to trust the programmers. Okay. Oh, let's see. Can I just copy that? Here. There's a way to share it. Okay, here you go, Zoot. Let's see. Okay, thank you. The robot is just some dude in a green suit. I seriously doubt that. But you could be right. I don't know everything. All right, next up, this little bit here I thought was hilarious. Little kid finding a drawing on the box here. That right there should tell you right there that you shouldn't be teaching. Kids don't need to be learning that stuff, and that's not the first thing that comes to their mind when they see that stuff. But I thought it was hilarious, that little kid, headphones. Let's see. All right, let's see, what do I got next? All right, here is somebody my age They like to call us boomers, but we are not boomers. We've got some of the characteristics because we were raised by boomers. The practicality of some boomers, but we're not boomers. Stop calling us boomers. That just goes to show you that we are still the forgotten generation. They'd rather lump us in with somebody else than give us our own gen. What can I tell you? But this is hilarious. This is funny. And it's not wrong. I've been alive long enough to see this too.
I get such a kick out of when my Gen Z daughter tries to, and her friends try to basically coach us and say that Gen X really doesn't understand diversity, and she points to like Harry Styles and how groundbreaking it was that he wore a dress and they embraced that. I'm like, really? He wore a dress? Okay. Do me a favor, I told her. Google David Bowie, Mick Jagger, Boy George. Google any one of those artists. You know, we did everything you're doing today back in the 80s.
I don't remember Mick Jagger ever wearing a dress.
It wasn't a big deal. We did it.
Frank Zappa did, though.
It was groundbreaking, but everyone just did them. It's like it didn't matter. Whatever went, whatever floats your boat, we used to say. Nothing matters. And I'll go you one better. We were so capable of diversity that a 5'3" African American with a voice higher than an 8-year-old choir boy dressed in high heels and purple leather was a sex icon.
Purple assless leather. Let's not forget that. And of course, we know he was talking about Prince. That's why I say all of this stuff is amazing now. They make such a big deal out of it, and it was just nobody cared back then. And you know, in fact, a lot of us are looking sideways and looking with our eyebrows in the air, saying, "How can you feel this way now? This is nuts." All right. This is what it was like to be friends with that sect of people back in the day. I miss my friends that used to do this. But you guys are gonna kick out of this.
Miss Honey, 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 Miss Honey. Don't you hear me calling you Miss Honey? I know you hear me calling you Miss Honey. The bitch knew that I'd be back. She knew that I would not go long, Miss Honey. Miss Honey! Where's the bitch? She's got some nerve. Here I am and feeling fierce. Miss Honey! Miss Honey! Miss Honey! Miss Honey! Don't you hear me calling you Miss Honey? I know you hear me calling you Miss Honey.
All right, now that I've put that in your head, you're going to sing that for the rest of the night. I couldn't resist. Like I said, I've had friends like them, and they would never try to push anything on anybody. They just wanted to have fun and do this kind of stuff. All right. I just thought I'd put that in your brain so you couldn't get it out of your head for a while. In fact, first time I saw it, I couldn't get it out of my head for the first couple of hours either. All right, y'all, that's about it for me right now. Don't forget to support all the folks on Rougaroo's interactive schedule, and be sure to head on over to the Drunken Rockies show right after I sign off here on Odysee. I put the link on YouTube there for you. Zoot, he'll be starting in a few minutes after I'm finished here. Let's see. Let me know if you guys want me to cover anything, or if you want me to show you anything, you know, in coming weeks, or if you want me to cover something in one of my videos on Saturday afternoons. Not something that would get me kicked off of YouTube, but then again, I don't really care. I'd rather have y'all come and visit me on Rumble anyway. We need to stop supporting these companies that hate us. Like I say, the only reason I'm there is so that I can, it's a big platform. I'll be there as long as they allow me to stay there as far as that goes, but I'm hoping that when anything does happen, you can go to any of my other sites and keep finding me, because they've done this. In fact, Odin's Men's been off the air for a couple of days now, or was for a couple of days before, and he finally got on Twitter and said, "Hey man, they cut me off," and then he's talked about it ever since. He's not real happy. All right, appreciate all of you for being here tonight. Thanks so much for the support. Thanks for the comments and the calls. Don't forget to send me your clips and commercials for mine and your shows Don't forget also to support the channel. PayPal, you can scan this. You can do my Cash App. You can also become a member on both Ko-Fi and Odysee. I don't have anything exclusive yet, but again, like I say, that's just if you want to keep it up and you don't have to do it every week or every month. You can just do it automatic like they like to do and everything like that. Like I said, appreciate it, everybody. God bless you all. God bless America. To all, I hope that you have peace, love, health, and music. And until next time, AMF.